All right, good morning, everyone. We're going to get started. Sorry for the delay, we had a technical difficulty, but the result already. Since I'm not going to have a microphone because Brendan's not picking it up, so I'm going to have to talk very loud. And our presenters, please, just so it's very okay. All right, so welcome everyone. Happy New Year's. We're so happy to be back. So happy to see everybody here. I hope everyone had a great vacation, a great break. Good holidays. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to get started. Just for the new people in the room, we typically go over what is 1 million cups every Wednesdays. So I'm going to go over that and then we'll get the presentation started. So the mission for 1 million cups, the national and local mission, is to work towards creating consistent and educational experience for each 1 million cups around the nation. So 1 million cups is a national program that is live streamed every Wednesday at 9 a.m. all over the nation. We are the newest 1 million cups in the Southwest region. We started last year in February. So we are already going to be a year very soon, and we're very excited for that. Just some key pillars about what is 1 million cups. These are meant to be presentations that storytell the entrepreneurial journey, not just a pitch or sell a pitch. It's meant to create authentic connections, not just a casual networking, right? And it's run for you guys, for the community. A little bit about the core program. It's held every Wednesday, like I said. It's a national program. It's live streamed. We typically have two to one presenters each Wednesday that typically present 6 to 10 minutes, and then there's Q&A afterwards. So if you want to be a presenter or a coffee sponsor, please reach out to us, any of us that have the shirt, and we'll help you get that sorted out. For today's accompanying sponsor, thank you, Harmony Insurance Group. Alright, so at this time, if you guys can please silence your phone, we're going to get started with the presentation, just so we can get right to our speaker. And she did want you to mention that she does have some stuff for you guys to see afterwards. So after the presentation, talk to her about it. Feel free to do so. Alright, so for our guest speaker today, we have Ms. Paulina Sanchez. She's a product management expert, and she's here to present a new venture.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. So I should be looking here.
No, from that table.
Oh.
Never. But
That's gonna be weird. Just talking to my mom. Hi, so my name is Paulina Sanchez. I am a founder of a Full Face app. I'm actually raised in Edinburgh and from the Green Valley. This is my very hectic life here on the slide. So I grew up in Edinburgh, attended Edinburgh High School. I graduated from the University of Iowa from sports management and entrepreneurship. So how did I get there? Have you guys heard of Edinburgh Governors? No, they were like the competitors of the Whalens, not the baseball team. Well, anyway, in middle school and high school, I volunteered for them, and I met a lot of college interns that were from other universities outside of Texas, and I pretty much asked all the questions. I was, 15 years old, asking all the questions. Like, hey, like, how did you go to USC? How did you go to Baylor? And they pretty much guided me, and I was there for a couple of summers. And at that time, it was SBC Global.net, MSN. And so I was just curious, and I was searching for universities, and college majors. At that time, there was not really sports management majors, so I pretty much looked at the only schools in America and University of Wyoming. So that's what happened. And then I graduated there, moved to Chicago because all my friends were from Chicago. So I just followed the bandwagon there. And then I got my first job with a sports agency. Then I became a social media manager for U.S. Soccer, Copa America. At that time, it was 2016, so that's when Copa America was in Chicago. When my contract ended with U.S. Soccer, I moved back home to Denver. And I remember my mom was like, get a job, get a job. And I was applying everywhere in the road. I mean, everywhere. Nobody wanted me. And I think it was a blessing, right? Because I moved to Austin because my best friend was living there at the time. She was going to UT. She was like, planning to crash on my couch, apply to jobs, blah, blah, blah. In 2 weeks, I got my first tech job. Rejection is redirection, that's all I'm gonna say. And then I worked in big tech for 5 years, a lot of Silicon Valley companies, and networked and built my skills. However, when the pandemic hit, I got my software product management certification from the University of Washington, which was very lucky because apparently for that program, you had to be in Seattle and you had to be in person. So I applied, and that was the first time that they ever had an online course because of the pandemic. I was very lucky for that. And then from there, I got trained from Amazon, Microsoft, and Facebook at the time, product managers, and I learned how to build products better, learned the ideation to launch. And so when I graduated from that, actually, I got a job as a product manager in Chicago for a week, an investment bank. And I'm going to skip the part where, it says in letters because I was recording you, but yes, I was bored, very, very bored of this job because in banking, the technology is very slow. And then to launch, because of federal regulations and all that stuff, the things to move, things to launch is very slow. So I'm like, you know what, I'm going to start building stuff on my own to build my portfolio in case I'm going to get a job, or if I get laid off, whatever, right? That's how I am. And so I built my first app, which is a dating app, right? Didn't think of anything of it at the time. I was just like, I need to get my portfolio going, and Fate was born. So Fate was just, just all right, so there. Anyway, then I decided to build more apps. So this is what I built now. So Full Face. Full Face is an accessible platform you can build with local makeup artists that will provide inclusive makeup application services. It is on Google Play, however, I'm legally not able to tell you to download it. And so right now it's in beta, and this is going to be important because in later slides you're going to see the evolution of it. So this is what is there now, okay? This later. But as you can see, it says Rio Grande Valley at the top. You have the book in advance. You have an available now section. Book in advance is a scheduling services, essentially. So they may be scheduling a makeup artist for tomorrow, or the next week, or the month, or whenever the most latest time that you can book. And then available now is on demand. So think like Uber, like whenever you need a makeup artist in real time. So these makeup artists are the ones that essentially are looking for new clients right away and need income right away as well. Okay, so discover, schedule, and book. Pretty much essentially what my sign up mobile app looks like. And then I'm just going to go real quick about what I'm solving. Solving a 30-year-old problem. Think of hypothetically when we were in the 90s, we needed to go to find a makeup artist, right? The local beauty salon, whatever. And then 2000s is when we had Google, right? You made a web search, you looked for directions on Google Maps, you showed up, right? You didn't have to call. 2000s, it's crazy because we're still stuck in the 2000s, in the early 2000s. Facebook became a thing, Instagram became a thing. People are still actually using this for pretty much their yellow pages, right? Their website. Instead of having a website, they're just pretty much, the only way you can contact me through social media. And in 2020s, we have Squarespace, we have Square, which are scheduling service website builders, and essentially, the thing is, a lot of people do not have access to this because it's so expensive. Rough number of people think like, oh, it's only $20 a month. No, for something that you need for scheduling and booking appointments, about $60 to $100 a month, which is pretty much unaffordable. So this is the most new and improved app that I have right now. So as you see, I got rid of the pink, went more neutral. And as you can see, you have a makeup artist that's providing a package with the time and the price, what's included, as well as book in advance and available now. It's more intuitive, it's more user-friendly. And then, of course, if you book local makeup artists, you'll get to see the portfolio, the brands they want to use, their profile from their social media as well. And then I just want to share this is actually for my pitch today. I know I'm not supposed to be doing pitches or anything like that, but sorry. But I think this is very interesting, and I think the Valley has a big market, or shares a lot of this market, even though it's $1 billion spend. So Latinos spend an estimated $4.9 billion on makeup each year. However, the global makeup spend is $39.5, and the Valley makes up a lot of that market. So it's pretty interesting how a lot of makeup space is not really booming in the Valley. And then 51% of Latinos that earn a household income less than $60,000 are the largest share of mobile beauty product shoppers in the United States as a whole. And then in 2022, out of 1.2 million beauty professionals, 70% started marketing themselves on mobile applications. And so the US states that I put on here is Texas included in one of them, but I deal with this in my target market. Competitive landscape, these are my competitors. Yes, I do have competitors, this does exist, I'm not a genius. So the thing is, Glam Squad and Priv are my biggest competitors, and they actually are luxury services, think $300 for makeup, and these are actually widely used in bigger cities, and they only service affluent areas. So I'm pretty much targeting the opposite target market. Then we have Booksy, Stylesy, and Glitzy. Glitzy is my favorite. Why? Because Glitzy is in Mexico. It's actually from Monterrey. And they are also one of my competitors. However, they do target affluent areas as well, and they're pretty much pricey. Traction. So I do have a wait list. So that's something that I'll be running with social media ads and sponsored ads within social media to target makeup artists and makeup lovers. So the wait list is for Chicago and Rio Grande Valley. The traction for the beta is I'm still working on it. As you can see, I do have new designs and I do have iOS in progress as well. And then I do want to add categories so that when I'm targeting bigger markets like Chicago, I could reach much more people outside of the Hispanic and Latino community. And so that is something that I'm working on. And then I am part of 1871, which is an incubator in Chicago, and I'm part of their cohort with Illinois Hispanic General Conference, which they've been so amazing. They actually helped me a lot with market share, sponsoring me to make sure I have access to an office space in Chicago, and it's been amazing. And then that's it for me. Any questions? You can follow me on LinkedIn or follow Full Face on LinkedIn. Yeah, socials. But yeah, sure, go for it.
Would you consider adding a section for makeup, for theater, or video productions?
That's called editorial, so yes, that's one of your goals.
Because we do shows that combine animation and live performance, and sometimes trying to find people that
Yeah, I know, and yeah.
is difficult.
No, for sure. In Chicago, that's actually a really good market as well, because in Chicago, it's actually cheaper to film there. And so it's very normal. You see film everywhere, people filming everywhere for shows, Chicago Fire, The Bear, whatever, Batman, whatever. It's very normal, and it's crazy because like these makeup artists are living on the side of the streets, like doing makeup. But they film like every day for 12 hours and they change people so fast.
It seems like that would be.
Yeah. Any questions?
Okay, you said rejection is redirection.
Yes.
So,
Well, let's go back to that slide. I can talk forever about this one.
so you had a direction before and then you switched to another direction? You-
Right. So.
What was your original direction and what's your direction?
Yeah, so for one, it's sports, tech,
Yes.
huge. And of course, I did a pivot with Copa America. Copa America, pretty much, I was working with UX designers in 2016. No, it was 2016. I had a team, and I was working with the team. At that time, I was already using Slack every day. And then, of course, when I started applying for tech companies, I was still in that mentality, like, oh, like I can still work in sports. And actually, that was the job that got me the tech job, because they were like, oh, we need someone who can understand sports for, like, at the time, working at Facebook. So at Facebook, we were doing trending news. This is when the Trump era. Remember, we're fake news, and I was actually monitoring that. And so I was part of the sports section and terrorism and politics section. And from there, I expanded. And then once I had that job and I was killing it, I was like, I just dropped sports immediately. Like, I'm making so much money. I'm learning so many skills. I was working with machine learning and AI at that time. And that was in 2016. So I was already learning so much stuff, seeing so much stuff. And then also, I think the people that I met, I'm actually friends with still. So that expanded my network, my skills. It was pretty great. Yeah.
What is your current market strategy to promote the app?
Yeah, so it's mostly targeted to women. So right now I'll be doing more social media pushes, but I definitely want to do more like influence events. I'm part of Latinas in Tech in Chicago, and they're willing to help me throw a launch party and stuff like that to gather more women around. So that's pretty much what I am.
Right.
Oh, sorry, there.
¿Te puedo preguntar? Tu negocio es, tú hiciste o desarrollaste la aplicación.
No desarrollado.
La desarrollaste.
Sí.
¿Y cómo ganas tu dinero de esa aplicación? O sea, ¿cuál es el modelo de negocio de tu aplicación?
Yes.
Lo puedo usar en inglés.
No, sí está bien. No más que no podía explicar porque no es un pitch.
No, por supuesto, pero estamos hablando
So
de
subscription, yeah, so subscription for makeup artists. So the app will be completely free for clients, for users, for customers. However, this is where the caveat is. So the makeup artist would pay for this service so that they are able to publish their packages, list their prices, include everything that they want, as if they would do for a website. So this is completely and all in one centralized place for makeup artists to actually thrive. And it would be half the cost that Squarespace or any website would be willing to charge. Yes.
That makes a lot of sense, because then you can take a portion of their monies collectively and collectively drive that to marketing versus them trying to do it individually.
Yeah.
So that's part of the argument, I think, for what you do. Plus, I can see you rinse and repeat.
A lot. And let's be honest here, like I'm working for an investment bank. And the clients that I work with have to have a minimum spend of $10 million. And I'm building these products for them. And I don't know, I've been there for 3 years and I'm like, why am I building this for these people? Like, I'm from the Valley. I feel like there's so much potential in the Valley. And I have nothing to show for it, right? I was blessed to have this journey, and I feel like I should be building for my people. And so that's when I started Full Face. I'm like, okay, so my mom and I have a family that have a lot of makeup artists in the family. And most of them never made a living, right? Especially in the Valley with that income level. And so a lot of them had to go back to Reynosa, or, had to go back to nursing or whatever. And I felt like that is still the thing today, right? 30 years later, it's still the same thing. And so I'm like, okay. And this is what's so crazy. I thought this was just a thing in the back. No, I was in Chicago, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing everywhere. It's like nobody is able to make a living as a makeup artist. So I feel like all these creative jobs are being not available anymore because of the lack of income that's coming in. So I definitely wanted to build a platform for them to work. Essentially, as well as customers who I would love to have makeup on that. Anything else? I think I went over my time. Thanks, guys.
She kind of do like you do.
I know, it's actually perfect.
Yeah.
I like the way she's trying to resolve the dirty issue.
Yeah, it's the same.
It's the same thing, I mean, I make like this.
All right, so thank you very much, Paulina. If you guys have additional questions for her right now, feel free to reach out if she stays available. And then I'll want to say some updates that we have going on here for this month. So again, next week. And then January 23rd, we will start our Kaufman in Harlem Gym. And January 24th, that's when we will begin our Kaufman here for Bridge. I believe we will have 2 Spanish and English for each.
Yes.
Yes. One of the conferences is going to be held off campus, but off eBridge, and then one of the other 2 will be held here as well. So the application is already open. If you know of anybody, we do have several conference people here to have taken it. So if you guys know of anyone that might be interested or would like to take it, you can scan the QR code. And then February 12th is the application deadline for the next Startup Texas. I believe that one's going to be quality of life.
What are your questions?
Yes.
Restaurant service.
Yes, so that's like restaurant, retails, projects that will qualify for the quality of life. Startup Texas is next. So that one is up next. Again, if you know people. Other than that, I think that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for coming to our first Women of the year. And we will continue this journey with you guys throughout the years. So again, our social media, follow us, share us. That we have more traction. We are very excited that we have a lot of traction in this first year. So we hope to continue growing and expanding soon. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you.